Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about bike packing cook kits. If you're familiar with some of my older content, you'll know that I've reviewed sort of my cook kit back then, and that's been quite some time ago. So I thought I'd take an opportunity to talk through about what my cook kit for bike packing looks like now. Just for reference, I keep my stuff in one of these Salsa Anything Cage bags. It's a roll top, waterproof, and I keep it in the Anything cages on my forks in the front of the ECR. But I like it because it sort of keeps my cook kit all in one package, and it's easy to take on, take off. If I need to get to it when I'm, mid-ride and don't want to dig through all my gear, this keeps it up front where I can get to it very easily, pop it out if I want to heat up something for some coffee or heat up some water for some kind of a quick meal in between or something like that. Doesn't happen often, but it is nice to have easy access to it on the front of the bike mid-ride without having to dig through all of my gear. The other thing about this is that, yes, while the Anything bag is certainly heavier, probably isn't as light as some of the other bag options that exist out there, I do like it because it's super sturdy and rugged, and it just has held up really well out there on the fork. Usually on the other fork, I'll keep a water bottle, so this balances pretty nicely with water on one side and something like a heavy Nalgene style bottle or something like that's usually what I use. And then this on the other fork makes a good balance for that front fork cage anyway. So let's get inside this thing. There is still plenty of room in here, but one of the things I'll start with is this long-handled titanium Spork, which I'll be honest, in the beginning, I didn't have one of these. I thought, how silly to buy a titanium Spork with a long handle. Just seemed like you didn't really need it. And I had used a folding style, originally started out with a plastic style fork spoon combination. So it had kind of a spork on one end, fork on the other, and it was plastic. And the problem with that was not that it didn't work okay, but just that it didn't hold up. You would try to stir something or dig something out, and eventually it wound up breaking in the middle. The plastic just didn't hold up. It wasn't quite sturdy enough. And then I went to an Amazon product that had kind of a folding knife fork combination. It had knife, fork, spoon. It was heavy though, it was metal. It was compact, short, kind of thick. But the problem with it was it wasn't long enough, and you really do find yourself when you're stirring things in these pots or eating things out of a bag, if you've done any of the packaged meals, you really need that long handle. So I finally broke down and just went ahead and bought this Sea to Summit style titanium Spork, and it works great. I admit that super lightweight. Yes, it's long, but it fits in here fine. It's held up well, and it really allows you to dig down in the bottom of those bags or the pot to get to things. So I do recommend this, even though I know maybe it's a little more expensive than what you would expect, but bang for the buck, it works, and it's been great. So I keep everything in one container, and it's a combination of things. I like to have kind of a rag to clean and wipe things off and wash things out. I also like this, this is a microfiber little towel, because it helps keep it more quiet as well. I'm don't have a super big problem with the noise out of this. Yes, it does, it can make a little noise, but I find once you put it inside this bag, noise really isn't a problem then. This is just a tie that came with an old tent that I had. You've probably seen these for tying up your tents and stuff. I keep it on there. It's just kind of stuck with me. And then this microfiber towel, if you look at how I have it packaged here, it's sort of stuffed down in a easy metal cup. And you can then just pull this out. Say you can pull it out. It's tight, but that helps keep it from rattling as much as well. So you've got your cup that you can use for hot drinks or small food items, coffee, things like that. This is not an expensive one. This is from Walmart. I don't even know the brand. It was super cheap, like $5 for this cup, and it's worked just fine. It's got the folding handles that work well that you can drink out of, and it's been great. So then you can see my towel, just a small Microfiber towel. This one's been in the bag for a while, so it's kind of stiff, but you can wash these easily, but they dry off things really well. They wipe things out really well. You can rinse them out with water and they dry real quickly, being microfiber. This one's been through its paces, probably needs to be washed again, but such is life. This is your standard Stanley Cook set canister. It's affordable. It's $15. It comes with these plastic cups that stack sort of inside of it, which I do not use. I took those out, but what I really like about this is, number one, it's tall. It holds plenty, 20 ounces up to here, which is 591 milliliters, it says on here. It has a top that's also has these vents and the ability to drain liquids, so you can strain things with that if you want to get liquid off. The thing I love about it is it also fits perfectly on the cup. So if you want to use the cup, it works both. Even though this is not Stanley, it just works out for both of these. So that's really nice. Inside of here is where I keep all of the details, basically. So I have this little mini can opener. I don't know if you've seen these before, but basically it has a bottle opener and a little can opener on there. I bought this at, I think I got it at like Hy-Vee or something like that, one of the grocery stores, but you can find them everywhere. It's just it's really cheap. It's probably a couple of bucks. And occasionally I like to take things that have a can and need an opener. And this is really small, fits in there, and it's really cheap. A couple bucks for that. This is the stove that I've chosen, and I'll show you that. That's an Amazon product as well. I always keep a mini Bic lighter in there as a backup, even though the stove has a piezoelectric lighter on it. And then in the bottom of this, perfectly upside down, are these small gas canisters that you can find usually at your local bike shop. Walmart sometimes will have them, but oftentimes they don't have these small ones. And this is super nice because it just fits perfectly upside down. And I do always keep the plastic top upside down into this, and it just falls straight to the bottom, leaving room to put things in there. This I bought at the local bike shop. It was $4.95 for this can. I find that one of these cans will last, depending on use, obviously, but for me, on about an average of about every 3 to 4 days, this will last. Mostly what I'm doing is heating water, like most people probably, both for coffee and for meals. Ramen is popular, rice packages are popular, and then of course the prepackaged meals, which I don't use a lot, but it is a nice option. You can heat a lot of water with one of these. This top then just pops off and the stove will screw right on top. The stove comes in this little plastic container, which has been fine. And then inside, this is just one of the affordable, this one's from E-Tech City. These are always changing a little bit as time goes on, but it's piezoelectric, so you can use this to get a spark and it will light your stove up. This was like $15, I think, on Amazon, something like that. But in essence, you fold this out. Of course, it's been a while since I've used this, but it's kind of got stuff all over it. But you just fold these out. These little jobbers open up, and then this will screw onto your stove, or onto your gas canister rather. And you'll get a little noise like that when it first connects. And then you spread this out, and then these will fit on top just fine. This will fit on top just fine. As long as you're on a level surface, and you need to be on a level surface anytime you're using these anyway. And allows you to cook, strain, do all kinds of things. These are really straightforward, these little stoves. You basically just click them on, and you've got your stove. Piece of cake. It just folds up nicely, fits in this little canister, keeps it all nice and clean. When you're done, you're basically just folding this up, screwing this off. Put the cap back on, you're good to go. For me, this has been really the perfect little stove setup and system. I like the fact that it's all compact. I like the fact that it's fairly lightweight. Dirt from Brad not having used it in a while. All goes together quickly, easily. You've got backup for the stove if the piezo doesn't work. Also, you can use this for lighting your campfire. All fits inside. Handle flips over, and you're good to go. The Stanley Cook Kit does have markings on the side, so if you have specifics about how much liquid you need for a particular thing. And then for me, I just kind of do this almost upside down. And this is a bit of a trick, by the way. It's taken me a while to kind of make this work, but in essence, I just wrap it around the base, and then it kind of shoves into this cup. You close your handles, and then this just folds down around it. And then I just tie it up with this. This just kind of holds it all together. You don't have to have one of these, but I don't know. I like having it. And then it all goes back in the bag. It's quick and easy. It's affordable. Waterproof when it's in this salsa anything bag. Throw my Spork down there on the side, and then it rolls up like this. All told, you're probably gonna have 50 bucks in this. I haven't totaled it up in a long time. A lot of it you can find on Amazon or at your local Walmart or someplace like that. The bag, of course, you're gonna pay extra or more for the salsa anything bag, but you can use any kind of a bag that it kind of fits in. I like this because it fits it perfectly and works well on a cage. Getting it in and out of the cage might take you a minute once you figure that out, but really it's not bad. It goes pretty quickly. I've used this now for, gosh, I guess going on 4 or 5 years, and it's been really effective and useful. Maybe you are looking for some answer. There are a ton of options out there for stoves and cook kits and all those things, but I can tell you that even for the low price of the stove and all the cook kit, I've been using this and it's worked great. It's been fine. You don't need a fancy titanium pot or all of that stuff. You don't have to have all that stuff. You can get by with something affordable. And the weight difference for what the gear that we carry is not gonna make that much difference personally. I know you can get crazy and go in for super light. If you're a backpacker and you like having it super light on your back, then that's a different story maybe, but I just thought bang for the buck, it was the best kit I've come up with, and I've been using it ever since. It's been fantastic. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. This is my cook kit. I'll put some links to the items in the description in case you're interested in seeing what they are, where they are, what they cost on Amazon. But again, a lot of this can be found at your local Walmart, but the overall system works really good. Next up, I think I'll probably talk a little bit about coffee options because I'm a big coffee drinker, obviously. So I'd love to talk through some of that. I've got some ideas, but appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, because I do put some content out there as well. I'll put that link as well. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.